Hey, say what's happening. You already know who this is. This is your dude, GKA, the prodigal son from that fine organization that we call Group for Russo Fellowship Incorporated on What's Happening TV. I got this young professional, black, intelligent young man right here. And what you think about working a 9 to 5?
Um, I think a 9 to 5 is creates structure for you.
Mm-hmm.
It creates an environment to go and interact with different types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's easier than being an entrepreneur because you have your limits already set,
Mm-hmm.
at least time wise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think a lot of people do excel in having that type of structure.
Okay. Okay. But what about you?
Me,
Yeah, do you like do you actually like a 9 to 5, or do you feel like you my question is, what the 9 to 5 want from you?
right?
Do you want the same thing for yourself?
Uh,
Do you need a little more details?
no, I think I'm following what you're saying. Ideally, I would say yes. I think what my 9 to 5 wants from me, I also want it from that job, or want it from that 9 to 5. So I'll say like ultimately, I think everyone has some type of passion, or everyone has something that would do for fun. If they could make money from whatever, they would do that. However, I think in order to you gotta what's the word? You gotta invest into that. And in order to invest into that, you gotta have money to invest. So I think for me, a 9 to 5, again, depending on the industry, of course, uh, my 9 to 5 is being used to invest into my passion.
Okay, okay. Now, I pretty much asked you this question off camera.
Right.
I'm gonna ask you this camera on camera.
Okay.
At your 9 to 5 job, your job asks you for detailed plans
Right.
of certain things that you're gonna do towards certain event.
Right.
Do you give yourself those same exactly detailed plans that you give to your manager?
No.
That, why do people tend not to do that? It's like, and I'm at fault too.
Yeah, of course.
You feel what I'm saying? Because what I learning is, I believe in therapy. I go to therapy. I don't know why I told you that, but I go to therapy.
Oh, everybody.
You feel me? Like
Yeah.
everybody needs that help.
Yeah.
But God helped me, but I still
For
go
sure.
to therapy.
100%. Yeah.
And I told the therapist I want somebody to come save me.
Yeah.
And the therapist said, and as I was articulating myself, the therapist said, Denzel, that's understandable.
Right.
Because this job is causing you to stand up and also be an advocate for you that you never did in your personal life.
Right. Okay.
So I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
So I took that as, how come we can allow somebody else to be a better manager than we can be a manager to ourselves? That was deep.
I don't even want to use the word better manager than ourselves, because I feel like I'm gonna use, okay, we can say manager as using the real definition of manager, someone who manages and not like boss or something.
Yeah.
I think when it comes into, I think that money aspect is the biggest, honestly. I think if you know that your performance is directly tied to your finances, you're not gonna let up. Versus, because again, with that one, just think about the 9 to 5. Going back to structure, um, there's so many deadlines that are not placed by you. However, with outside of 9 to 5, it is now up to the individual to say, okay, I need this done by this deadline, without having a fear of payment. Doing something again. This is the time that you're doing something for free, so it's like being strict on a timeline or a deadline,
But-
saying I need this for that, or a strategic plan or whatever.
But watch this though. Watch this. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
So everybody just doing things for money. Because peak game. So yes, we go to a job.
I'll say more or less.
Yeah,
More or less.
we have responsibilities,
Yeah, for sure.
which is understandable.
Right.
But at the same time, we still allowing another now, I'm not trying to tell everybody to leave their job.
Right.
I'm not saying that.
Don't do that.
I'm not saying that at all. But what I am trying to articulate, how come we allow outside forces to want to drive more from ourselves than ourselves? That's a problem.
Yeah.
If you sit here and tell me, and I can agree, I can sit here and come up with the construct of planning,
Right.
having an agenda, telling people the responsibilities of what they need to do,
Right.
and I can't sit here and do the same thing for myself.
Yeah.
I have to get acknowledged from a payment
Yeah.
to get the best for myself, or to get more of myself.
Yeah.
Do you know how that sounds?
Nah, I understand for sure, and I think it's like, I think time is an important factor because you spend, technically, if you're just going by averages,
Mm-hmm.
a third of your day at work, a third of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
A third of that time is at work. A third of that time is supposed to be sleep. And then a third of that, the rest of that time is whatever you want to use that for. And I just think when you get caught up in so much, like with the dramas of life, and again, just so much things take time. Driving somewhere, if you want to exercise, you got to exercise. If you got a family, you got to take care of your family. If you want to relax from a hard day, you got to relax. And then you got to invest time into what you're trying to do. Basically, now you're trying to use the money that you're making from your 9 to 5. Not even saying, there's so many things, but I'm just saying money,
Yeah.
for example. Money to now invest into this product is like a time thing. So like so at a job, 9 to 5, your boss says, I need this plan for this event that's happening in 2 weeks. There's nothing that we can say about that event versus, all right, I have a business or whatever, and I say, man, I got a lot going on. I'm not going to try to push myself to make this plan by in 2 weeks like I'm at work. I'm going to give myself a month instead.
But that's the issue. That's
Is that an issue? That's what I'm saying. Is that an issue?
It is. On my behalf, I
Okay.
can't speak on everybody else
Right.
because I got my own business,
Right.
and actually I can. Depending on your business, you can actually make more than the check that gives
100%.
because of the fact that you're getting from a source. You're going straight to the direct contact. Somebody want to request your service or
Right.
anything of that nature. You can actually charge however much you want to charge, reasonable.
Right.
You're going straight to the source.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I'm stopping myself from actually getting whatever I need because of the fact that I'm going through a lot. Because at the end of the day, at the job I got going on, I'm going through a lot.
Right.
But I don't let what I go through stop me from the deadline. So why would I do that for my personal life?
So, the funny thing about that is that's when people, if you look at a lot of like entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they decide which one is more important to them. To which a lot of people just say, I want to go full in on this entrepreneurial vision I have. I'm quitting my job.
Okay.
And so, because that's how you really, ain't got this move so much. That's really how you, really go in as hard as you really want. So again, if you're doing any type of service, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll make more sales, you'll have more videos, you'll have more whatever if you have 24 hours invested into it versus 8.
I get what you're saying,
You
but
want to do, yeah, my bad. if you want to do like again like videos, or just think about people like content creators and people who do like car rentals or car cleaning or any type of thing that anyone's doing, they work their job until they can invest enough into their product or into their service, and then they go full in with it because you're missing a great part of your audience between those 9 to 5 hours. Again, depending on what it is.
And a disclaimer. Okay, I'll call in a few. And the disclaimer, we is not telling nobody to quit their job. We're not saying
We're
that at
not
all.
advised.
We're not saying that at all.
We're not advised.
I said, but
Well,
at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is, why are we not going hard for ourselves?
Right.
Regardless if you are entrepreneur or have a 9 to 5.
Right.
Why are we sitting here forcing other people to bring something out of us? Now, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with that exposure, but at the end of the day, we know what we need to do.
Right.
Why not do it?
Yeah.
Just because at the end of the day, did you want to go to work today?
Nah.
Did I want to go to work today? No. But we understand that we had to go to work to get this money.
Right.
But at the same time, you have a goal,
Yeah.
I have a goal. You have an aspiration, I have an aspiration. Why I'm gonna let the things that I go through to stop me? I don't let nothing stop me from getting a check.
Right.
So why I'm letting, okay, I'm thinking about this individual. This individual, I can't post no videos because I don't want somebody to think I'm disrespecting them or et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But at the same time, the other individual don't mind what they doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say make it a tick for
I get
tat
what you're
thing.
saying.
All I'm saying is, why are we not going hard for ourselves like the manager want us to go hard for being on their team?
Yeah.
I feel like that's disrespecting ourselves.
Right. Right.
You expect me to go hard for your team, and I'm not going hard for my life.
Right. I mean, can't really.
No,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
can't really debate that.
you
that
get
point.
what I'm saying?
No, I
So
do.
so I have enough audacity
Right.
to not get fired,
Right.
but I don't have enough audacity to establish more for myself.
Right. I think.
Ooh.
I think that's when it comes down to assessing skills, assessing the right skills to be able to do that, because you still have to avoid burnout. You know, you can't decrease what you're doing at your 9 to 5.
Yes, we do. We do it all the time. In so many ways.
We do it, but are we supposed to?
Well, I'm saying though, even though, man, look, at the end of the day, we do what we do to make sure we keep a job.
For sure.
So why are we not doing the same thing to align up with our purpose? That's all I'm saying. Why are we not doing the same thing to align up with our purpose? You said, don't get burned out and make sure you have the skills.
Right.
You have the skills because you already on the team.
Yeah.
So why are you not using those same skills to benefit yourself? I'm still looking for the same question, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna be real. I'm not doing it because of the fact that I'm giving my energy, my family, my energy, the wife, the kids, the energy, the family, my organization energy. But it's not their fault that I'm giving them energy and not giving myself no energy.
Right.
That's my fault.
Right.
And I want everybody else to be responsible
Right.
for what I choose to do with my time and my energy.
Yeah.
Now I'm frustrated at all them
Yeah.
because I'm not doing what I need to do for myself.
Right.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
come down to.
So what would be your solution to that?
My solution is creating a plan of what I want to do. Knowing I work a 9 to 5 and I want to be a content creator, how many videos I want to do in a week.
Yeah.
How many videos I want to edit.
Yeah.
How many videos that I'm going to post. Even you said, hey, Denzel, instead of trying to write every day or every 2 days, want you to make sure you post every Monday.
Yeah.
On your website, which is called idbtime.com. Imagine this, how you believe in time. And it's Paid in Passion. Go on here, tell them.
Yes, sir. My platform is Paid in Passion, PAIDIN, PASSION. Essentially, I just interview individuals based off of their passions and how they were able to turn, like hobbies and interests into some form of a stream of income, whether it's their main stream of income or just, a side income. But again, just seeing how people take what they enjoy in life and make it much more.
What's funny is we got all me and you both.
Yeah.
Got all the resources to give to others, but somehow we're not using our own resources.
And it's because even from that's kind of what I got from all those people. Every time so whenever I interview someone, I ask them just again, also these are like casual conversations, as if I really want to get in your field.
Yeah.
So you can Google how to be a professor.
Yeah.
What are the steps to be a professor?
Yeah.
Or I can have a conversation with the professor as if I really want to be a professor, and so I'm asking all the real questions, and that's something that you can just Google, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever I ask them what is their advice for those who want to go into their field, then I ask them, what advice do you have for me? Whether it's for whatever advice you want to give me, what advice do you have me?
Yeah.
What advice do you want to give me? And I would say a lot of the advice they give me as an individual is investment. And again, not money-wise, but time-wise. And so I hear them, but there's just so much that interferes, again, personally, there's just so much that interferes with my time to where by the time I actually get to the crib.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
We both lying. You want to know why?
Yeah. Tell me why I'm lying.
No. We both lying. We let me tell you why. We just don't do it. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
We can sit here all day and say, man, I'm depressed, which is a real thing. Or we can say, shit, I want to quit, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
And we can say, hey, we have problems in relationships, which is a real thing. How many degrees you have?
2.
And tell me about those 2 degrees.
I got a bachelor's in biology.
And what else?
And a master's in public health.
From what institutions?
University of Georgia.
Both
dogs.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So, when you was in the undergrad, right?
Right.
It been times where you like, man, I ain't finna do it no more, right?
100%.
But did you let that stop you from taking that test?
Nah.
Did you fail a couple classes?
1, for sure.
Did you allow that to stop you from obtaining that degree?
No.
So that was the undergrad.
Right.
So when it come down to your master's,
right?
Did you did a thesis or non-thesis?
Non-thesis.
Okay, cool. A non-thesis,
capstone project.
A capstone project.
Yeah.
So with the capstone project, with the master's program, you ran through some hard times, right?
Yeah.
It was some days where you wanted to quit, right?
Yeah.
It was some days where you would rather throw in the towel, right?
Yeah.
It's some days where you came short on the tuition, right?
Yeah.
That
was paid for, but.
Oh, but
yeah.
cool. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but at the end of the day, though, you had opportunity to quit, right?
For sure.
Was you getting paid to go to school? You had a scholarship?
I was a TA. So
okay, teachers.
They was paying me to go to school.
Okay, well, cool. So
yeah.
you still had to work.
Yeah, definitely. I
in
still
order
had to
get the grant.
I had to be in classes.
Yeah. So did you let anything stop you from achieving that?
No.
So why are we sitting here and saying we can't do it?
See, I don't think we can. I'm not saying that we can't do it. No. Go back to that key word, time.
But
when are we going to do it?
But at the same time, going back.
Yeah.
Undergrad was something for real.
For sure.
Then getting a master's was something for real.
For sure.
And we really didn't have no time. Did you make time?
Yeah.
We ain't doing it. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Then sometimes you had to stay up all night to get that assignment done.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you had to stay there all night to work on that study material.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Truth be told, it ain't no difference.
It's that I think we just gotta get used to not having instant or like I don't want to say instant gratification, but like a direct response. So it's like
So when
check this. It's like you study for a test. You studying because you know you got a test. You already see what that end goal is because you already know what the end goal is.
Pass the class.
Right. You gotta pass that class, and it's something that's so concrete. If I don't get this grade on this test, I'm not going to pass it. All right. So that's something that you already have in your mind. You gotta study this many chapters. So you have this test. You need to get this many questions right on the test. Pass it. Cool. Work. You gotta. You know that we get paid first of the month. Whenever it's cool. You gotta maintain that job because you know that first is coming. Versus, and again, I'm just not an excuse per se, but I'm just like saying the difference. Versus anything that you have outside of work and school, you don't see like a concrete. I
ain't trying to cut you off.
Yeah.
So I think because even when going to school,
right,
it was not no instant thing, but because it took 4 years to get that bachelor's degree, 2 years to get the master's,
right,
depending on how many classes you're taking.
Right.
But hearing what you're saying is, if you're working for yourself, you got to give yourself a reward.
Big or small.
You got to give yourself a reward.
And that honestly could be something, like a practical thing that we can do for ourselves.
And I think that's the reason why we're having a tough time. It's not the necessary instant gratification. We know when we work, we get a check.
Right.
You know when you're in class, you pass the class, get the grade, long terms, you're going to graduate.
Right.
But when you trying to do a personal achievement or goal, no one there is telling you, hey, you passed the class. No one here to hand you a check.
Right.
It's on you to celebrate yourself.
Right.
And I think what's happening is we don't celebrate our accomplishments or ourselves enough to make ourselves feel worthy of the passion that we have or goals that we're trying to attain.
Right.
And I think that's probably one of the issues of the fact that you're right, because most people looking for instant gratification.
Yeah.
Even if most people say I'm fit to cheat,
right,
or I'm fit to gamble, or I'm fit to get a high.
Yeah.
They looking for an instant reward for them.
Right.
And I think we just need to start giving ourselves a reward, because I can be at fault. Sometimes the people that I'm doing for, I'm hoping one day they can really just acknowledge it.
Right.
It's not their responsibility to acknowledge me. It's my responsibility to acknowledge myself. And I'm passing that responsibility on to everybody else. And that's another reason why I feel the way I feel.
Right.
Because of the fact that nobody else acknowledging the work that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And when nobody else acknowledging the work that I'm doing, I discredit my own work because nobody noticing me. In actuality, it's on me to notice me, not anybody else. Anybody else will be a bonus.
Right.
But it's really my responsibility to look at myself.
Right.
And I think that's the reason why we don't go so hard for ourselves. Because at times we're looking for people to notice.
Yeah. I think it's also hard just to, I'm not saying everything else is not a risk. Life is full of risk. But I think consistency is what really gives you that real push into that
consistency or discipline.
I mean, you got to be disciplined to be consistent.
Yeah.
You can't be. I don't think you can be consistent without discipline. That consistency is what gets you into that next phase, because it's like, again, like you asked me earlier, do we want to come to work today? You can say no, but you got to come to work. So you got to be consistent coming to work, whether you feel like it or not. Even with classes, like even if you don't necessarily have to go to class, like I'm gonna be truthful. Like I wasn't going to talk my classes, but I still had to be consistent of making sure I know the information before I go take the test.
But at the same time, when you brought that up, it's still going back to that instant reward. Like at the end of the day, we don't want to go to work, but we're going to work to get that check. That's an instant reward.
Right.
So I think the same thing, just going back. I feel like whenever we're doing for ourselves, we have to really acknowledge we doing this for ourselves, no one else.
Right.
And once we do achieve whatever we're trying to achieve, how are you gonna acknowledge or give yourself gratitude of the fact that you really accomplished what you did? Because the world crucified Jesus. You think the world gonna try to stand up to you and say, hey, you did it? Hell no, they put Jesus on the cross. So we really want acknowledgement from the world.
No.
In reality, so what are we gonna do to help ourselves with that discipline? Like you said, an instant reward. What is that instant reward when you said, I'm gonna save $1,000?
Right.
Okay, when I save $1,000, I'm gonna use $200 to buy anything I want.
Right.
Instead of taking away from the $200, taking away from $200 from that 1,000, I ain't gonna have 1,000 no more.
Yeah.
So what is the reward? I think honestly we have to reward ourselves, and I think the reason why we don't, even when we do for our manager, guess what she gonna give us, or her, or him or her, if they are a good manager? Guess what they gonna say? You did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we looking for, you did a wonderful job. So I'm giving you all this detailed planning to look for you to say, you're doing a wonderful job. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm just, my fault for interrupting you.
No.
But at the end of the day, it going to what you saying. Everybody wants instant reward. And the instant reward is the reason why people don't go as hard.
Right.
So if you're gonna go hard for yourself, what type of hard reward you gonna give to yourself? And how can you really acknowledge and celebrate that reward that you do give to yourself? Right. How can you cherish the reward that you give to yourself? Right. Because how can you really give yourself a pat on the back?
You gotta set some goals.
You get what I'm saying? When you set them goals, man, I'm gonna pat myself so hard on my back because nobody else helping me with these goals. Nobody else doing these videos. I do. Yeah. So if I say I'm gonna do something for that job, I need to do whatever I'm gonna do for myself.
Right.
Point blank, period. And it's no way possible, because I'm highly disrespecting myself by giving others something or going hard for others just to look for them to say, I see you.
Yeah.
Damn, this conversation was needed.
Huh?
This conversation was needed, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
On both parties. And man, let them know, because I gotta go back to work.
Oh, for sure. Wait, what do I tell them?
Let them know who you is, how they can reach out to you.
Yeah. So my Paid and Passion pages, I got that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. @_paid. You get Paid in Passion. So you just search Paid in Passion and you'll find me.
And that's what's happening on What's Happening TV.
Yes, sir.